This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
This season, let your shoes do the talking. Designer Shoe Warehouse is packed with fresh styles that speak to your whole vibe without saying a word. From cool sneakers that look good with everything, to easy sandals you'll want to wear on repeat, DSW has you covered. Find a shoe for every you from the brands you love, like Birkenstock, Nike, Adidas, New Balance, and more. Head to your DSW store or visit DSW.com today.
You know, some people say that Odoo business management software is like fertilizer, the way it promotes growth and all. But other people say Odoo is like a magic beanstalk because it grows with your company and is also magically affordable. And there's some people who would even say Odoo's individual software programs come together to build the perfect suite like building blocks. Well, Odoo is all of these things. Fertilizer, magic beanstalk, building blocks for business. So sign up now at odoo.com, ODOO.com.
Tonight, head down to Karen's Irish Pub in Minneapolis for a Game 5 Ultra KFAN watch party with Halvey. Zach Halverson, we're kicking off the pre-party at 8. We've got chances for you to win prizes, play games, and sample Michelob Ultra. Get all the details now, KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
Get it, Kim. It's in your spotty. Kevin Gorg smashed the Derby with sovereignty. Well done, and welcome to the studio, my brother.
Great to be here. A lot of fun activity this week with the PGA Championship, the Preakness, all this great playoff activity in both hockey and basketball. So what fun for all of us as sports-loving rubes.
So do you hit the Derby with the winner like once every 5-6 years, or is it less? I mean, I'm like a once every 9-10 year guy.
Yeah, I mean, if I look at the numbers, I've been playing the Derby since the late 80s, and I've probably had 9-10 winners. It's hard. 20-horse fields. If you can get one every 6, 8, 10 years, right. You know, we had Super Saver, and that was a big hit for us, especially with the futures market. I'll have another. I caught it 50-1 in the futures. So you have to pick your spots because you're going to be wrong a lot more than you're going to be right.
And joining us now is a dear friend of ours, and he's wonderful. Eddie Olczyk is a noted winner for NBC Sports and with hockey games on TNT. And Eddie joins us now. Eddie, PA and KG, how did you do on the Derby? And our buddy KG smashed it to smithereens with sovereignty.
Yeah, well, if people, first off, I hope you guys are doing well, PA and Kev.
Absolutely.
With you. If people were tuned in,
I was
12 days ago. Kev gave out the winner, and my top two horses were the 8 Journalism and the 21 Baeza. And if somebody got creative,
could have pounded that trifecta.
That dollar trifecta paid $230.
Crazy
for $1.
Holy cow! What'd it pay?
$230 for $1.
Eddie gets the button bar radio world as somebody goes searching for the trumpet applause. And see, I laughed because I thought you were setting me up to take me deep, which would have been great. It's like
hey, look at. We know the equine athlete game, and if you could bat 277 for the year, you're doing pretty damn good. So look at. Kev, tip of the hockey helmet to you. I don't wear jockey silks. You don't want to see me in jockey silks. But you know what? It was a hell of a race. Obviously, I mean, things changed when the weather got rough. But hopefully, people put their heads together and put up a couple of numbers and made a few bucks. I mean, I had a really good weekend. I mean, I missed out on the Derby, but
you were
it was
on fire on the broadcast, especially on Friday.
Weekend. So way to go, Kev.
Wow. Yeah.
I love it though when they show Edzo watching back his winners. And him and Matt Bernier do the cool thing where they preview the betting and how they're going to play it, and they have the numbers up there. But then when they win, they show those guys watching the race together. There's nothing like watching Edzo watching a winner at like 13-1, which I saw on Friday. So cool.
Now, with Preakness this weekend and Black-Eyed Susan Day on Friday, it's for those who have missed it, no sovereignty in the Preakness. All right. Now, that sucks. Yeah. For those who may have missed it, like, why isn't sovereignty running?
Well, look I mean, trainer Bill Mott and ownership in Godolphin Racing feel like the turnaround is a little too quick. And as you both know, you have to do right by the equine athlete. And nobody knows the Derby winner better than Bill Mott. He's a Hall of Famer. If he had an extra week, would he have run in the Preakness? Now, I think that's the bigger question here. As you both know, I mean, we have no commissioner in the game, and every sport has evolved over the years. Back in the day, home run fences were very far away from home plate, so what'd they do? They moved the fences in. 3-point line in basketball, what did that do? Okay, stats are what they are, records are what they are, but 3-point line hasn't been around forever. Hockey, we've gone to 3-on-3 in overtime. We've gone to shootout. NFL, everything caters to the offensive side when it comes to the rules. Horse racing, we've changed. Some may argue for the worse. But I think in this situation, what I'm getting at is the equine athlete has no voice. So the trainers and the owners have to step up and say, look, it's not in the best interest of our athlete to run in 2 weeks. A lot of these horses, they don't run for 60 days, 90 days. They may not run for 3 or 4 months and then run their next race. So I think what I'm asking is, are we going to change at any point in the Triple Crown chase where we go 3 weeks in between the Derby and the Preakness, and then we take the 3 weeks or maybe even 4 weeks and we go into the Belmont? Now, you're going to need to get everybody to play nice in the sandbox when it talks about the tracks and everything else. And again, there's no overseer of horse racing. So every other sport has changed. Records are what they are. You could argue till you're blue in the face. And now if we have it, God forbid we have a Triple Crown winner. If we go to 3 weeks and 4 weeks in between, everybody's going to say, well, they didn't do that in 71 and they didn't do that in 15. And that, well, I mean, I just think I think it's okay, long-winded. If the trainer doesn't think the horse is going to be at his very best and he might be compromised, then you bypass the Preakness and you get ready for the Belmont at Saratoga. So that's how I feel about it. I'm okay with it. Yeah, am I disappointed? Hell yes.
Yeah.
But to me, you got to do what's right by the equine athlete, and I think that Belmont is doing that, and I'm okay with it.
It's going to make for one hell of a Belmont Stakes on June 7th. There are a lot of horses that are pointing to that race, and you can make a case that Baeza might have been best on Derby Day without that troubled trip. So June 7th is going to be unbelievable. It might be the best day of gambling as far as horse racing goes on the calendar year, and I'm including the Breeders' Cup in that. So keep an eye on that date. But now, Edzo, as horse players, we still have to play the Preakness. And, you know, you look at this race from 18 different angles, and I keep coming up with the same horse. Like, journalism, to me, ran a great race on Derby Day, was a legitimate favorite, and is one of the best horses of his generation. And he has taken on a field here that he towers over on paper. And the only question I have, and you just mentioned it, it's the 2 weeks rest. This is not something you see with Grade 1 horses. Other than that, I can't find any kinks in the armor.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can't argue with you at all. I will say is that I think, going back to the Derby one last time and with journalism, I'd be interested in you guys' thoughts too, is I thought the jockey Umberto Rispoli just moved a tad early. Now, was he going to beat your horse, Kev, Sovereignty? Probably not. But I just thought that he rode an absolutely perfect race instead of trying to make a half-mile run, I would like to see him make a 3/8 run, and maybe he would have gotten the jump on Sovereignty and maybe got a little separation and whatever. But, that's a handicapper, and that's what my, natural eye saw for the move there. I agree with you. He does tower over the field, but yeah, the biggest question mark is the quick turnaround. He ran hard in that race. I mean, he did. That was a taxing race going a mile and a quarter. Now they shorten up to a mile and 3/16. I'm not going to pick him. I'm not picking him.
Wow.
I'm gonna try to beat him. I'm gonna use him. Like, I'm gonna play some big exactas, meaning I'm gonna try to get the exact order 1-2, and I'll box him up in case he beats me. But I'm gonna go to Steve Asmussen's horse, Clever Again, the 8 horse with Jose Ortiz. Ran a huge race at Hot Springs, Arkansas, at Oaklawn Park back at the end of March. This horse is bred by American Pharoah. We know, we've mentioned Triple Crowns before. Bred to go the distance. I think there's a little speed in here, but I don't think that there's really a lot of speed, and I think that Clever Again is the speed of the race, and I think it's going to get out there. You take the will away from Lucas's horse, American Promise, and then you run as far and as fast as you can, and you get some separation on Journalism because he's going to come running. So I think that was a monster race. I think this was the idea all along, is to see what type of horse they had at Oaklawn. And here they are. The horse has been off all April, 2+ weeks of May, working very well. And we'll probably, I don't know, maybe get 3.5 to 1, 4 to 1, because I think Journalism will be every bit of even money, right, or 6 to 5.
Well, what about Jose Ortiz, Brother Irad, and River Thames? I mean, it's this horse almost beat Sovereignty. Lost by a neck in the Fountain of Youth.
Yeah.
And then
gotta use.
Yeah,
I'm going 8-2-6.
Yeah.
I'm going 8-2-6.
Yeah,
and River Thames is the 6. Yeah.
The Bluegrass, I mean, it didn't come up great. East Avenue couldn't get the lead. Burnham Square had some trouble. So that horse barely missed in that race. But at this distance and with that tactical early speed, and I think this one's going to be all about 4.5, 5 to 1. That's so you say 2, 6, 8. Those are the ones you're looking at here, Enzo?
8-2-6.
8-2-6.
Those are my numbers in order. Like, the only thing I would say about the 6 horse, River Thames, is that day at Keeneland, it was favorable to horses that were coming off the pace. It was not a speed favoring track. Like, East Avenue ran an absolute huge race on a track that was favoring closers.
Right.
And both Burnham Square and River Thames came off the pace, and obviously River Thames finished third that race, so he got to be 3/4 of a length. So I would maybe just put a little bit of caution on the 6 and saying that the race on paper to me was maybe a little aided by the way the track was playing, but still ran a good race. So, it's not a great race, but I think it can be. Yeah, I think there's value there to be had if you have some courage and you can put the numbers together and make a little money.
Yeah, I do see some speed in the race. I think the Baffert horse on the inside, goal orientated, who ran on Derby Day on the undercard and ran pretty well that weekend, has speed. I think American Promise, off the trouble early in the race, Dwayne Lucas has been pretty open about the fact that they want to go. The cool thing about your horse, though, Edzo, is there's upside. The breeding's incredible, but I don't think he needs the lead. I know he's won his last 2 races on the lead, but when you have post 8, you're going to give Jose Ortiz some options, and I think he'll be just as comfortable maybe to watch the 1 and 3 duel. So I see your angle. I think you're going to get all that 5 to 1. I don't think your odds are going to go down.
The only thing I would say, Kev, is that I think with the rail horse and Baffert, I think it being on that off track, I think helped the quickness and getting to the lead in a race that didn't have much. And I just think it was a little more in an off track type of speed than maybe this horse really is from the rail. And again, breaking from the rail, could cause some issues. So I'm not as sold on the one having as much speed as you think, but I do agree with you with the 8 Clever again, is that I think that the horse can be tactical and just sit off. And then if American Promise does go and Juarez gets out and, now again, cutting back in distance, and, he's had a couple of races where he hasn't been able to get to the lead. And when he hasn't gotten to the lead, he is, it hasn't been great, right? So I just think the fastest horse in the race is Clever again. And I think if you can take the will out of everybody, then all of a sudden everybody else is running for second, so to speak. So it'll be interesting how it plays out, but that's why we call it handicapping, and that's why we love to gamble on it, because you can go in a lot of different directions for the Preakness on Saturday.
Eddie Olczyk, NBC Sports, TNT. Back to the equine athletes in a minute. In fact, if both of you can find Race 10 Friday, it's the Miss Preakness, a grade 3. I have some steam from that race, believe it or not, from one of the owners. But back to the equine. We love steam, Edzo. We do, whether it wins
steam
or not.
Steam is good.
Eddie. Hey, look it. It's been a long time since I've had my own steam. Now I need my help with the steam I got. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you on that,
we
man.
all need that.
Yeah, I haven't felt my ribs in 30 years.
Jesus.
All right, so Eddie, by the way, is calling Game 6, Panthers and Leafs Friday night. And what an awesome series this has been, Edzo. I mean, what a great game you have coming up.
Well, I was there for games 3 and 4, and going down the Sunrise, Leafs were up 2-0 in the series, and Florida wins game 3 in overtime, and then fireworks in game 4 with a shutout win for Sergei Bobrovsky, and here we are now going back to Toronto, and it's a best of 3. So looking forward for the game 6 on TNT on Friday night, and then a travel day on Saturday, but I will find time working my travel schedule in between and around Preakness Day at Pimlico. So I'm looking forward to getting my feet wet, whether I'm 35,000 feet above the ground or I'm watching on my computer at a hotel. So I'm looking forward to the weekend. But that series has had a little bit of everything. I mean, you've had some nasty hits. You've had some great goals. You've had great goaltending. And this is what playoff hockey is all about. And now the Leafs go home and they got to hold serve and put the pressure back on Florida. But it should be a lot of fun watching tonight's game in Toronto and then getting down to Sunrise tomorrow for a game on Friday. What
do you think of Golden Gophers product Matthew Nyes?
Man, he's the real deal. I would be shocked if he's not on Team USA. I'm not sure if Billy G's listening, but love out to Billy G. I'd be shocked if he's not on Team USA at the Olympics next year. I would be. I think that he has taken a unbelievable step here this year. Physicality, skill level, gives you a little bit of a different look, and that is such an important part of having successful teams, regardless of International Hockey League or come Olympic competition. Is you need guys that have the willingness and want to go to the blue paint, hang around a little bit, take a hit to make a play, big body. Seems like a real lovable kid, and I know he's very popular inside that locker room. So I think he's taken major steps this year, PA, and he's been he's had a terrific regular season. He's been very good in the playoffs, and I know it's a long way out, but I would be very surprised if he is not on Team USA's roster at the Olympics.
Time for one, maybe two more with Edzo, Eddie Olczyk.
Kevin Gorg.
I think of the fishbowl that Toronto is, and I look original 16 with Cup cred going way back in the day. I look at your time playing in New York, seeing the Rangers in 94 finally get that cup and all that pressure that goes along with it in that market. And I think of what Toronto's been through specifically here in the Austin Matthews era and having that 2-0 lead, going to overtime in Game 3 against the Cup champs, and now feeling it slip away and their fan base in panic mode. What are you expecting for an atmosphere up there? I'm sorry, it's so juicy.
Edzo's the best.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably a little snug. I would say it's a little tight right now, but look, in August I was asked about the Leafs, and I think with the addition of Craig Berube has done an amazing job behind the bench. The additions of Tanev and Ekman Larson, where they were lacking, it just needed to solidify their goaltending. And look, Joseph Woll played unbelievable the other night in that game 4. Like, he gave his team a chance to win. Unfortunately, he didn't get any run support, but, sometimes you get a great pitching performance and your batters don't do the job for you. But, Stolarz was playing tremendous for him, but everybody's got to play the hand that's dealt, and, but the pressure, it comes with the territory, no doubt. And for the Leafs, they've proven that they can win and they can beat the defending Stanley Cup champions like they did the first 2 games of the series. And I thought back in August is that with the additions they had and the coach they had behind the bench and the players that they had and difference makers, I felt that they could make a run to the conference finals. And, here they are. They're 2 wins away from getting to the conference finals. Now, whether or not they can pull it off, time will tell. But I think anybody would sign up in Toronto to get to round 2 and play a best of 3 to get to the conference finals. So I think that's the selling point for the Leafs and for their fan base is that, look, until we lose a home game, we're okay, right? Like that's now that may, you're trying to, appease the masses and just be positive, but that's fact. You won 2, now you've lost 2.
Right.
You're still okay. You got home ice. You played the whole season to get home ice, and you've been a damn good home ice team so far in the playoffs. So figure it out. Give yourself a chance and stay out of the penalty box. I mean, a couple of bad penalties the other night. I mean, selfish penalties, not smart penalties, and it came against like Florida. You can't give them any freebies, and we'll see how it all plays out. But that would be my message to the Leafs and to the fan base is, until we lose a home game, we're okay, and go out there and enjoy the opportunity.
About 3:05 Central on Friday. Got a little race called the Miss Preakness. Mm-hmm. It's a G3 at Pimlico. And everybody ready to make some money.
I can't wait to hear this. This is an unbelievable betting race. 13 of them in the game.
Let me get my crayons out.
Yeah, hold on.
Get your crayons. All right.
Here we go.
Crayons secured. Yep. Are you do you follow the National Football League at all, Edzo?
Oh, that I love the Chicago Bears? Is that what you're asking?
Okay, no, what I'm going to ask is, are you familiar with the name Kevin Stefanski?
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Stefanski.
Coach,
no, I've heard of Kevin Stefanski, but never Evan.
Coach of the Cleveland Browns, 2-time Coach of the Year. He is. It's one of my very best friends that I've ever had in football. Now, his father, Ed, is part of Legion Racing. All right. Now, his father, Ed, was a former general manager for the Memphis Grizzlies, the New Jersey Nets, Toronto Raptors, Philadelphia. You might even know Ed from Uncle Ed from the world of horse racing. And in fact, you guys were in the same place a couple of Fridays ago. That would be Churchill Downs because Ed co-owns Drexel Hill.
Nice horse.
Who ran second in the Kentucky Oaks. All right. So Ed's seeing it clearly right now. They own Holly Grove, number 1, race 10, 20-1 morning line.
Sheesh.
You're going to have to forgive that last race and just believe this announcer that there were some things that went wrong in that race that have been corrected. And the filly is training a hole in the wind right now. So Uncle Ed doesn't go out of his way to give me a call like he did for Drexel Hill, unless Holly Grove is at least a little live for your superfecta wagering pleasure. And Johnny V takes the call, and so hey, don't kill the messenger. My work's done. Yours has just begun. Okay,
20-1. I love it.
Holly Grove.
I actually was going to use the 11 in that race, so maybe I'll box a little 111 in the 10th race.
There we go. Yeah, you got 15-1 on You'll Be Back. All right, Edzo, you're the best. Call a big one on Friday on TNT. We'll be watching. Okay.
All right, guys. Love you guys. Thanks for having me.
Love you, Edzo.
Good luck, too, man. Appreciate you. That's Eddie Olczyk, the great Eddie Olczyk. In studio 9 to noon is
Kevin Gorg
with yours truly, Paul Allen. We will shift to a little bit of music, but also a couple of wild questions as we pepper Senor Spotty around the corner. But first, here's Double B.
The Fan and BigDeck.com want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Head to KFAN.com. The keyword is grand for this hour. The keyword grand, KFAN.com.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistant's assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Hi, this is Javon, your Blinds.com design consultant.
Oh, wow. A real person.
Yep. I'm here to help with everything from selecting the perfect window treatments to...
Well, I've got a complicated project.
No problem. We make the complex simple. I can even help schedule a professional measure and install.
I didn't realize you did that.
We can also send you samples fast and free.
Wow. I always thought I needed a designer to come to my home, but scheduling's always a nightmare.
Not with Blinds.com. We're on your schedule. And there's no haggling, pressure, or hidden fees either.
I just might have to do more.
Whatever you need. How about you tell me what you had in mind?
Okay, then. So the first room we're looking at is for guests coming over, and I'm thinking of something...
Blinds.com has covered over 25 million windows, all backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Shop Blinds.com now and get up to 50% off with minimum purchase. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Keyword Gorg. If you want to chime in what's happening with your favorite KFAN shows, you can make your voice heard on the Bradshaw and Bryant KFAN text line. So let us know what you have to say by texting your message to 64686. That is 64686. Standard text message and data rate supply.
Kenny Chesney in Vegas at the Sphere.
Yes.
Right before CBY.
So excited.
That's good work.
I'm really looking forward to it.
You're playing so fast right now. It's unbelievable.
I've even taken the week off of Wooden Sticks, my podcast, just to focus on this concert. I've been looking forward to this since Christmas. It was a Christmas gift. Chrissy and I are huge fans of this guy. We've seen him play at least 15 times. And to see him at this location, I think it's going to be epic. Can't wait to do it. It's going to make for a tired weekend. I fly out Friday morning at 6 a.m. The concert is Thursday night, but it'll be worth it.
Well, is Kenny Chesney, is he your all-time favorite?
One of. Journey for sure is the top of that list.
Wow.
Without a doubt.
You ever watch any live Journey on YouTube?
All the time.
Yeah. So you've
seen the one in Houston, right? I mean, that's the
one in Detroit.
Yes.
There's a live one in Detroit and a live one in Houston that it's like, the
behind the music, you can watch that on YouTube too, the old VH1 program that gets into the whole battle with the reason Steve Perry left the band. It's really,
Neil Sean.
Yeah, it's kind of that was the
that's what I thought.
Yeah, it's such a good show.
Oh man, Don't Stop Believing with this Preakness, by the way, and
journalism crushes.
Attack it with open arms. I would have a tendency to agree.
Crushes,
right? But I mean, the mile and a quarter. Well, is this? See, I'm trying to be DA, not PA. I'm trying to be devil's advocate here.
Right.
But it's like, is this a bad crop of 3-year-olds? I maybe for 7, maybe for 15, 16 of them in the Derby. They're not going to be eye openers the rest of their lives. I know what I saw. You know what you saw. Sovereignty and journalism. When they hooked up in that big time affirmed Alidar thing, I couldn't stop that. I went to Madei's office the next morning at CBY Track Black, and we, 19 times 4, we went all 76 on the race.
You watched it all back?
5 times.
Each horse's trip.
Right. Well, we saw about 6 bad trips. American Promise didn't have the greatest trip in the world either.
He did not.
Sovereignty and journalism both had really good trips. Now, I think they're both nice. I think they're both upper echelon 3-year-olds, comparatively speaking, over the years. So off that, yes, journalism should crush in this race, but he's going to be even money, and we're not in the even money business, man.
We're not, and you got to turn even money into 6 or 8 to 1, and there are a bunch of ways to do it. And you mentioned the Friday card. You can book together the Black-Eyed Susan with this Preakness Stakes. You can use pick 5s. And then I've got a horse I like in the race. I didn't get to talk about it because I want to hear Edzo's steam. He didn't mention the 4 Heart of Honor, and I'm not a big UAE Derby guy. Anybody that knows me knows this is not the road I generally go down. But I went back and watched that race a couple of times. This horse had a tough trip. This horse has back-to-back races at this exact distance. He's a fresh face that wants to go this far. I see enough speed in the race. I think journalism is by far the best horse.
Yep.
I'm going to mix that 4 into my exactas and trifectas. I like Edzo's tout. His horse should be in the mix. but do not sleep on the 2-4 exacta. That's how I'm going to crush the race. I will not play even money. I will not have a win bet on him at those odds. I just don't think that's value, but there are ways to turn that even money into much more profitable odds.
Okay, now with what's the name of this horse?
It's the 4-horse Heart of Honor.
Yeah, I've lost my mind on my Derby PPs. I mean Preakness PPs. Here we go. Heart of Honor, the British. Okay, now the one that I picked and it didn't hit the ticket in the Derby, Luxor Cafe, the Japanese horse. Mm-hmm. That UA United Arab Emirates Derby was a big reason that I came in on that horse, because the ones he was beating in Japan came back and went 1, 2, 3 in the UAE Derby.
And your horse was legit in the Derby. If you watch back that trip, you know what I'm talking about.
Nobody was beating Sovereignty.
And just to tell you, your horse would have been top 3.
Agree. I can hear some Baeza bad trip. I can definitely hear the White Horse Final Gambit bad trip. This horse that I picked, Luxor Cafe, this rider, are you kidding me?
Terrible.
I mean, the first 300 yards, he checks like 4 times. But then nearing the top of the stretch, here comes that 7 to get within 4 lengths of the lead. And then finally, he's just like, I don't have any more. I'm done. I was really hoping he would run back here soon. So I could bet on him.
I bet he's back for the Breeders' Cup. Do not forget that trip.
Luxor Cafe.
He's going to be a big number.
Oh, he was live, but nevertheless, doesn't matter. It wasn't the wedding. Instead, it was the funeral. So let's make the Preakness the wedding and forget about the funeral. And that Heart of Honor that you're talking about there, I'm glad you mentioned that as a top
horse
2.
Makes sense. He can hit the board. Sure. And if he hits the trifecta at 12, 15, 17 to 1, and you get Edzo's horse in there as well, now you're looking at a horse that you're betting in journalism, keying him on top in the trifecta, where you're not getting even money. Mm-hmm. You're probably getting 15, 20 to 1 on your investment. So that's how I'm going to play the race. I'm going to hook up a long shot I like in the Black-Eyed Susan to him, and then I'm going to play a pick 5 where I'm going to single him and use a bunch of long shots. The turf race right before the Preakness is an unbelievable full field route race on the grass that's got all kinds of value. So I'm going to make it count. And I hate picking journalism. I'd love to be the wise guy and come up with a long shot. And I've looked at this race for the last 48 hours. I cannot beat the horse.
You mentioned your podcast, Wooden Sticks.
Hey, Blondie.
Jamie Hirsch was on it recently.
She was just on yesterday. It's going to be out this weekend. And I got to tell you, she's just fantastic. You've had her on the show. Such a great conversation. She's actually going to try some play-by-play this weekend in soccer, and she breaks the news on this latest edition of Wooden Sticks. And just what a talented young lady she is. She's done sidelines. She's been a host. Now she's doing play-by-play for multiple sports. You know how hard that is. What a talented lady.
Talk about hard. Play-by-play for soccer?
Come on now.
But no, that's hard.
It's really hard.
I mean, you think it's if I called 2 Wild games, 1 Wolves game, and a bunch of Vikings games. So people, were when I called that Wolves game a month and change ago, people were like, well, you got to do baseball, and complete the superfecta. No, I'm not, God didn't wire me to call baseball. I'm too speedy. I talk too fast.
Energy high, right?
I get too hyped for things that baseball, and can you imagine me calling a soccer game? Messi! Ronaldinho! Yes!
You got a guy right there behind you that could probably train you.
I would love that.
Right?
That would be great. It would be like a mix of hockey and baseball, because there's dead times you got to fill.
But then your goal call, though.
When the bullets are flying.
But nobody gets loose in soccer ever.
Oh,
that's not true.
They do not, for like 30 yards dribbling the ball up to the goalie. I can't even say it right. It sounds weird just when I say dribbling the ball.
Yeah, but you send him through with a nice through ball, and he's loose.
See?
And there they go.
Messy,
though.
Bicycle. Yes! Corner.
Love it.
Header. Ooh! That's the only way to do that. All right. Oh, yeah. Do we have fat stacks of cash for post-July 1 moves, we being the Wild?
We do. And I'll be very curious
fat stacks of cash
to hear which direction Bill Guerin and his staff are going to go. I think Wild fans are salivating over the opportunity of maybe taking a swing at a Sam Bennett. Not sure that's going to play out that way, because Florida certainly is going to be in the mix. I heard Lou Nanne yesterday with Barrero, big ticket, talk about Matthew Nyes. I don't think there's any way in hell Toronto's going to let that guy get away, but you at least put an offer on his table, right? He's a guy that played here in Minnesota, and I would love to see that happen, but it's exciting to finally have those opportunities.
For listening.
Thank you.
From Bump. But Mouse, captain of the 83 Wayzata Club hockey team. He wore the C for a club hockey team. It's all you need to know. He basically called me stupid last week when I was like, I got tipped off on Nyes. Okay, well, I didn't go looking deeply into like the restricted part. So it's not a 0 because you can do it.
Well,
technically you can have an overture here.
It's close to a 0, but
yeah, it is.
I again take a swing, and I just love that the Wild are in a position right now where they've got young, talented players already in this organization. We got a little taste of Zeev. You're going to see a lot more of Zeev in the years to come, and he's going to be fantastic. Mm-hmm. But you've got now money to go out and get guys. And so critical decisions, and I think Bill Guerin hinted at the direction he wanted to go in his postseason press conference when he said, listen, we've got to take some pressure off guys like Joel Eriksson Ek. And that's exactly, PA, what they need. They need a first-line center. Bump Ek down to that second-line role where he can be the menace that he is. Don't force him to try to score 30 goals a year. Force him to do all those other things he does so well. He'll still score plenty, but you get a first-line center. You make Ek that second-line center, and everything falls into place for this club. I really like that direction if they're able to do it. And that's why Sam Bennett, to me, should be at the top of that list.
Oh, yes. That'd be the bomb.
Oh, so good.
How does somebody let a Sam Bennett, a centerman like that, leave? He's not leaving.
Well, again, it comes down to the money that's available, the time you can sign. And again, they've got other guys they've got to pay. So it's an interesting opportunity. It might not work out, but I'm certain that the Wild have him on their short list.
Okay, and in closing,
Minnesota is so hot.
Timberwolves may not cover tonight, but they're going to win.
It's over.
Okay.
It's been over.
All right, well, now you're going to have OKC Denver winner, so Wolves in Western Conference finals.
I got to tell you, I watched that game last night. I don't watch a lot of NBA. Yeah. I'm never going to claim to be a basketball guy.
Your guy Joker.
I watched that fourth quarter. Joker made a three-pointer. I don't even know how he made the shot.
I know.
Is it SGA?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Okay, where did he come from?
Best point guard in the NBA.
Where was he in college?
I think he was a Kentucky Wildcat.
This guy is and of course, I love the Minnesota guy, the Minnehaha Academy guy.
Chet Holmgren.
How about that guy?
Okay, well, just in closing, since you're a lifer, all right? You are 50-some-odd years in the state of Minnesota. What if after 3.5 decades of titleless town...
Yeah.
What if it's the Hal that snaps of all teams?
Right.
What if it's the Timberwolves?
Well, they look like they're in a pretty good spot because look at the Eastern Conference. Cleveland was so dominant all year. The Celtics, they're both done.
Yep.
And it's low-hanging fruit. If you get the winner of the Western Conference likely will house the championship. And the Wolves, to me, if it's Denver, I don't want to say they're a lock, but they are a prohibitive favorite. If it's OKC, you give OKC the slight nod, but if it goes 7 and the Wolves are sitting here for a week resting, which they likely will be, they have every chance in the world. And I got a dear friend that you're going to be on the conference call with at 3 o'clock this afternoon. One of our guys in the golf pool bought a ticket this winter.
Copyright Dan Barrero.
100-1.
Yes, I know.
Wolves. So exciting for him.
Good luck to him. And safe travels for you. You enjoy the show. And I will see you at Canterbury Park a week from Saturday for live racing season 31, okay?
Can't wait, PA.
Appreciate you. That's Kevin Gorg. Love you, too. At Gorgomatic21 on the tweet machine. Final segment around the corner. KFAN.
Farm Aid 40 is coming to Minneapolis. Join Willie Nelson, Neil Young, Dave Matthews, and more September 20th at Huntington Bank Stadium. Celebrate 40 years of food, music, and family farming. Enter for your chance to win a pair of tickets now at our contest page, KFAN.com, keyword contest. Enter today.
Fall down, Chicago beer. I don't know.
No love for my Golden State Warriors?
Absolutely no love for your Golden State Warriors. George Hutton Chapel, may God rest your soul. And thank you very much for listening to 9 to Noon today. NFL scheduling release day. We've gone over the Vikings rumors that we've seen via the tweet machine at Bears Monday Night Football to start things. I mean, these are all rumors with the exception Dublin and weeks 4 and 5, then a bye week 6 confirmed by the football team. So Dublin, Tottenham, and a bye. That's all happening. There was a Thursday night clipping penalty at SoFi against not McVay, but against Jim Harbaugh. That was week 8. That's a rumor. Thursday night football. LA Chargers there. Also, we have a Detroit Christmas Day at U.S. Bank Stadium. That's from the Rumorsville department. That would be a Netflix clump. From a Green Bay Packers standpoint, Double B, since you love the team and we love you. Super special Cindy, about an hour ago. Looks like the Pack will close with the Vikings this season. That would be Week 18. Both Lions games are set, and Green Bay is at Chicago Week 16. Any chance we can get this game at home? I'm guessing not. Right, super special Cindy.
In your face, Milwaukee!
Shut up.
Never heard anyone in my life who's more insane than Paul Allen.
Fall down, Chicago Bear. Back with you tomorrow to talk about the Timberwolves heading to the Western Conference Finals. See you later. Bye.
Podcast today's Paul Allen Show, or listen back to previous show and interviews by going to the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.
Does Friendly have a taste? If it does, it's probably like Hello's peppermint-flavored anti-plaque and whitening toothpaste. Brush away plaque, show tartar who's boss, and remove surface stains to naturally whiten. Hello's thoughtful and flavor-forward products make brushing your teeth feel like a confetti-filled bathroom dance party. So say hello to Hello with the always cruelty-free, never-tested-on-animals toothpaste that's made to spread smiles. Visit HelloProducts.com and let Hello add some everyday yay into your life.
Okay, have you heard about this? Last year, Degree changed the formula for their Cool Rush deodorant. Their fans rebelled and wanted the old scent back. And Degree listened. That doesn't happen often.
They admitted that they effed up and are bringing the original Cool Rush scent back. And it's exactly how you remember it. Cool, crisp, and fresh. There's a reason it's the #1 men's antiperspirant, and it's back in Walmart, Target, and other stores for under $4.
So try it and see what the fuss is about. Head to your local stores to try the OG Cool Rush for yourself.
Are you still quoting 30-year-old movies? Have you said cool beans in the past 90 days? Do you think Discover isn't widely accepted? If this sounds like you, you're stuck in the past. Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. And every time you make a purchase with your card, you automatically earn cash back. Welcome to the now. It pays to Discover. Learn more at discover.com/creditcard, based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Have you ever felt that uneasy anxiety when the 4 p.m. hour strikes? The creeping meal-related distress that happens when you don't quite feel prepared? You know, dinner dread. Let's get rid of that unpleasant feeling forever with one word. Stouffer's. No matter what happens, you'll have a dinner plan that everyone loves with Stouffer's. Some chicken enchiladas or a cheesy chicken and broccoli pasta bake is always welcome, whether it's Plan A or Plan D-licious. When the clock strikes dinner, think Stouffer's. Shop now for family favorites.